Yo, what up? It's your boy Sid Linus checking in once again. PBC is back. They have a show coming up, Sebastian Fundora versus Keith Thurman, which is going to be a pretty dope fight. I'm here to talk about that. But first, just want to put it out there. If you want to subscribe to me, I always drop some exclusive video each week. Check the comments, subscribe to me in the link, and then you'll be able to get all my exclusive content. Make sure you just share my content, spread the word or whatever. I primarily talk about sports. And today I'm talking about the premier boxing champions. They are back. You know, PBC was the biggest boxing conglomerate there was, ran by Al Heyman and guys like Sam Watson and things like that. They used to put on all the shows at the Armory. So all of the boxing shows at the Armory was done by PBC. Showtime went out of business, and then they had to find a new home, and now they're with Amazon Prime. A lot of their boxers also do work with Turkey, with Ring. So they don't have as big of a stable as they had before, but they still pushing along. Gervonta Davis is supposed to be coming back pretty soon. And then Errol Spence is supposed to be coming back pretty soon. We're going to talk about that, especially that 154 weight class. But coming up this weekend on Saturday night, we have Sebastian Fundora, who nickname is a Towering Inferno. Now, he did fight at the Armory one time before. He is 6'6", and he fight at 154. Very long arms, very tall, and he fights like he's Sean Porter. I mean, he fights on the inside. He doesn't box a lot. He's very easy to hit, but his offense is so much that he made Tim Tszyu quit. He's really a hard guy to beat. He made Erickson Lubin his corner throw in the towel. Now, he did lose to Brian Mendoza. Brian Mendoza also fought at the Armory. But Brian Mendoza was down in the fight. He was losing, but he caught Sebastian Fundora with a really good shot, and Fundora was not able to really answer the call. So Brian Mendoza did get a knockout against Fundora. But Fundora is the favorite in this fight because in his last fight, he stopped Tim Tszyu, and I think that was a very big win for him. Now, people are saying that Sebastian Fundora is scared to fight against Xander Zayas, who's a top-ranked fighter at 154. And they also saying that he didn't want to fight Terrence Crawford when Terrence Crawford was calling him out. But I think there was a Errol Spence fight looming ahead that could have happened and never came to fruition. There's a bunch of things. But he is fighting Keith Thurman. Everybody knows Keith, one-time Thurman. Keith Thurman made his name at 147 with beating guys like Sean Porter, beating guys like Danny Garcia, Mario Barrios, things like that. He only has one loss. And that's the loss to Manny Pacquiao. But he's been only fought 2 fights in the last 5 years. So we're going to really have to see what does Keith Thurman still have, because sometimes boxers need that break. Sometimes that layoff is not bad for boxers. You know, Sugar Ray Leonard was able to take a couple of years off and then come back and beat Marvin Hagler. So sometimes taking these really big gaps is really good for the body, especially when you have not been in a fight where you've taken a lot of punishment. So it would be great to see Keith Thurman back in the ring against the Towering Inferno, which is Sebastian Fundora. Now, if we want to go even further in depth about the 154 division, there's also Boots Ennis, who was trying to do a fight with Virgil Ortiz from Golden Boy. Now, everybody knows that Boots is with Matchroom and Virgil Ortiz is with Golden Boy. Virgil Ortiz really wanted to make the fight. Golden Boy wanted to really kind of bully the fight, bully the negotiations. Virgil Ortiz's team didn't like that. Virgil Ortiz's team tried to negotiate the fight with Matchroom behind Golden Boy's back. And Oscar De La Hoya took him to court. He actually won. So it looks like the fight between Boots and Virgil Ortiz is not going to happen. But what I am hearing is that Top Rank now has a deal with DAZN, which will make it much more easier for that Boots and Xander Zayas fight to happen, because Xander Zayas is a top-ranked fighter. He's a young guy, young Puerto Rican. He's a very good champion, very, very, very talented kid. And he's going to be fighting against Boots. And it seems like it's not solidified, but it seems like that's the fight that's going to happen next, and which some people are talking about in May or something around that time. So in the 154 division, you got Boots, you got Xander Zayas, and then we got Sebastian Fundora fighting against Keith Thurman. And then you also have people talking about Errol Spence coming back to 154, and he's going to be fighting against Tim Tszyu. And these are all really great fights happening at 154. You also have Jermell Charlo talking about he wants fights as well. So that 154 division, and you know Conor Benn can fight up or down. Conor Benn is with Zuffa, but you know he can still fight some of these fights. So the 154 division is packed. It is really packed, and it gets started off this weekend with Sebastian Fundora against Keith Thurman. Now, if I had to pick who I think will win, I would definitely say Sebastian Fundora. I do believe that Keith Thurman may have lost a little bit of his speed and quickness. His timing is probably taking a hit because he just hasn't been in the ring that long. I do not think that his career will be over, though, if he loses, because I think that he could end up fighting the loser of an Errol Spence versus Tim Tszyu. Now, I think that the loser of an Errol Spence-Tim Tszyu fight, their career might be coming to a halt. But I would love to see, if Keith Thurman loses, I would love to see Keith Thurman fight against the loser of Errol Spence and Tim Tszyu. And then it makes sense for Sebastian Fundora to just fight the winner of an Errol Spence-Tim Tszyu. And then I really would like to see Boots and Xander Zayas fight against each other. And then the winner of that fight maybe fight a Virgil Ortiz or fight a Jermell Charlo or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe even Errol. Maybe even the winner of Boots and Zayas could fight against Sebastian Fundora. And then the winner of Errol Spence versus Tim Tszyu could fight against a Jermell Charlo. So I think it's just a lot of fights to be made at 154, and it's getting kicked off this Saturday with PBC on Amazon Prime. If you got Amazon Prime, make sure it's still pay-per-view, so it's not just free, but you will be able to watch it. And it's gonna be a great fight. I will tell you this fight is definitely guaranteed to be an exciting fight for as long as it lasts. I think any one of them can actually get the knockout. But I do believe that Sebastian Fundora will win this fight, and then he'll probably fight a Boots or Xander Zayas next. So let me know what you think about the fight. Make sure you tune in. Make sure you in the comments. I want to hear you guys. Do you think Sebastian Fundora or Keith Thurman is going to win this weekend? And then I love talking boxing, so I'll come back and talk boxing more. We might do a recap on the fight and just and see who everybody picked and see if their picks were right. But yes, make sure you tune in this weekend. PBC, Sebastian Fundora against Keith Thurman. Keep God first, and I'll talk to y'all later. All right, peace.